Hello everyone, welcome back to Tali's kitchen and happy Eid in advance. Now today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful white forest cake. Now this is a really simple cake. It's absolutely delicious, really nice and spongy, really beautiful with the fruits on top, and this is perfect for the upcoming Eid. The cake turned out really nice and spongy. The whipped cream was just perfectly whipped, and those fruits in between just took this cake to a whole other level. Now it's really easy to put together. This is something you can definitely make for your friends and for your family, and especially for the coming Eid. So without any further ado, let's learn how to get this done. So to start to start us off here, I'm going to be starting with 7 eggs. So what I'm trying to do here is basically separate the egg white from the egg yolk, and I'm going to be using 2 bowls for that. So do take your time, switch the egg yolk between the different shells, and then you'll be able to extract your egg white. So go ahead and add all your egg white into a bowl and add your egg yolks into another bowl. So we're going to add all our egg yolks into our bigger bowl, and then we're going to get ready to prepare the rest of our ingredients. So for this cake we're only using 1 cup of flour. Can you imagine that? Just 1 cup of flour, guys, and it was a huge cake. And then I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and I'm just going to mix everything to combine, and then we're going to set this aside. We'll use this later. So I'm going to begin mixing my egg whites here, and I'm just going to mix this until I get a really nice cloudy consistency. So do take your time here. It does take a little bit of time, but nothing more than 5 minutes. So just take your time, and to test if your egg yolk is ready, just use a spoon. If it falls off the spoon, it means you still have to beat this a little bit further. So go back in there with your mixer and continue mixing your egg whites. Sorry, I think I call them egg yolks. Continue mixing your egg whites. So at this point I'm going to go ahead and check this again, and you can see it's no longer falling off the spoon, so this is ready to go. So up next I'm going to go ahead and add in the 7 egg yolks, and then I'm going to go in again with my mixer and just mix everything to combine. It looks so beautiful and fluffy, doesn't it? So now once everything is nicely combined, we're going to go ahead and add in 1 cup of sugar, and then go back again with your mixer and mix everything to combine. Now once everything is nice and ready, go ahead and add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence just for a bit of flavor, and then mix that with your spoon, and then we're going to gently add in our flour. So you want to fold in your flour. I'm not going to be using my mixer at this point, so just add it in bits and then use your spatula to gently fold it into your cake batter. And as you do this, ensure you don't have any lumps in your flour, and then once everything is nicely combined, we're good to go. So this looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to set this aside and begin preparing my baking tin. So I do not have a perfect baking tin, that's why I'm using this pot to bake today. And I am just rubbing on here some margarine at the bottom of my pan and on the sides of my pan, because I don't want my cake to stick at all. And then I'm also going to be dusting this with a little bit of flour. And then lastly, I'm also going to add on some parchment paper in this. Now I know I'm using 2 methods here to ensure things do not stick, but I'm just trying to ensure my cake comes out clean. So go ahead and add in your parchment paper at the bottom and on the sides. Once that's ready, go ahead and pour in your cake batter into your tin, and then at this moment my oven is already preheating at 180 degrees Celsius. So once I've added all my butter to my bowl, I'm going to tap this on the counter to remove any air bubbles, and this is going to go into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. So it's been about 30 minutes now, and look at how fantastic this cake looks. So I'm going to let it cool down, and as it cools down it does sink a little bit, but let that not frustrate you. This is still good to go. So gently remove it from your baking tin and place this on a cooling rack, and then go ahead and remove that parchment paper. So as that is cooling, I'm going to go ahead and start preparing my strawberries here. So I've just gone ahead and removed the leaves from this, and I'm going to cut them into thin slices like you can see here. So just use as many strawberries as you want, because remember, this is a homemade cake, so you want it to be as rich as possible. So I'm using here quite a number of strawberries, and I'm going to just thinly slice this, and then we'll be good to go. So go ahead and add this to a bowl and pop this in the fridge as we prepare the rest of our ingredients. So here I have my cold bowl, some cold whipping cream, and I'm going to be adding approximately 3 cups of whipping cream into my bowl. So I'm going to be using here my mixer again to just whip my whipping cream. So do take your time here, up to about maybe 5 to 7 minutes, whipping your whipping cream in between rest times until you get that really nice, beautiful consistency. So it's starting to become thicker, but this is not thick enough. This is still really watery. So I'm going to go ahead and continue mixing this for a little bit more time. Now at this point it's thick to a good level. You can see it looks really nice and cloudy, and this can actually stand on its own. So I'm just going to add in a few more minutes here because I do not want to over whip my whipping cream, and then this is good. Now this is perfect. Pop that back in the fridge and let's go and cut our cake. So I'm going to be cutting my cake here into 3 pieces. I didn't manage to cut my cake into 3 equal parts, unfortunately. In fact, the first layer was too thin, but it's fine. It's a homemade cake, and it's still going to turn out absolutely fantastic. So set aside your pieces of cake, and then we're going to start layering this. Also, make sure you do use a serrated knife as you cut your cake, just so that you don't lose so much of your cake as you cut this. So this is my first layer of cake here, and I'm just going to go ahead and add in a generous amount of whipping cream, and then I'm just going to use my spatula to gently spread that around. And then here we're going to start using the first set of our strawberries. So generously add a lot of strawberries on the first layer. You can gauge how many strawberries you can add depending on how much you have, and then we're going to go ahead and add in the next layer of cake. So next up here, I'm going to go ahead and add on my second layer of cake, and then we're going to repeat the same process. Add on a generous amount of whipping cream, and then use your spatula to spread that around, and then go ahead and add on your second set. It's going to be your last set of strawberries, and then we're going to add on our third layer of cake. So go ahead and gently peel out that parchment paper, and then we're going to add on a generous amount of whipping cream. And at this point, we're now looking to cover our whole cake with whipping cream. So take your time here, use your spatula, and just spread that whipping cream all over your cake like so. Once you've achieved this, go ahead and clean out the side of your bowls. Because I'm not a professional cake baker, I'm just going to try and create some funny design on the side, because I'm not able to create a really smooth finish. And then I'm going to be garnishing my cake here with some compound white chocolate. So I'm using here my mandolin just to try and get those tiny shavings of chocolate. So now I'm just going to use these chocolate shavings to completely cover my cake. This is on the sides and on the top. On the side, just try to kind of like splash the cake with the chocolate shavings. They stick really easily. and on top, of course, just go ahead and drizzle the chocolate shavings. So I have cut some strawberries into halves, which I'm adding on the side. You want to place this really gently and lightly. Do not squeeze them in, because when I squeezed it in, that's when it fell out. So just try to kind of like just pat it on the cake and it's going to stick. On top here, I'm going to be decorating with some more strawberries, and I just happen to have some kiwi, and I decided to add on some kiwi slices on this, just to add in some pop of color as well. So you can decorate your cake however you want to, with whichever fruits you have, and you'll have yourself a really beautiful, pretty cake like so. It looks absolutely fantastic. Now I want to show you guys, look at how incredible they stand out. Can you imagine? You can literally make a birthday cake in your home and it would be this gorgeous. It looks store-bought, to be honest. I was really impressed with what I came up with. And you want to clean the sides of your plate so that you also have a really clean presentation as well. Now I'm going to show you something here which I actually learned in the last time I made this cake. When you cut a cake immediately after decorating it, it turns out so messy. It's like everything has not yet set. So if you want to get a really clean cut out of your cake, once it's thick, and I saw this with the chocolate cake that I made, and I'm going to link it up here, you can go check it out as well. I saw this with the chocolate cake that I made, and I also saw this with this Whiteforest cake, and that's when I realized if you want to get a really clean cut out of your cake, once you've decorated it, pop it in the fridge. You can even cut it the following day. Now this is a slice I cut after I think 1.5 days, and look at how clean it turns out, you know. But anyway, it's a home cake, so you can have it however you want. So I hope you really enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you guys will definitely try it out. And Eid Mubarak to all my Muslim viewers. So do let me know how it goes in the comment sections below. Consider subscribing if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, and I will see you all next time with another fantastic recipe. For now, bye bye.